What is up? Welcome to the Week 6 recap and Week 7 preview of the NFC North. I got the roundtable folks with me. It was a hell of a week within the NFC North. The Packers beat Joe Flacco. This time around, they beat Joe Flacco. The Lions lose to the Chiefs, and the Bears beat the Commanders. Really, it was a get-back game from last year. I almost felt good for him, and hell, Jake Moody, ex-49er, made the game winner. So that made it interesting. And then, of course, the Vikings were on the couch for the week, but this week they will be back. We got some great games to preview. Let me bring in the panel. We got, Dose will be here in a second. I don't know what happened to him. He was here a minute ago. We got Bass. We got One Bar. We got Nick. Dose, we got a spot reserved for you fellas. Good to see you, Trump. I see you starting already, brother.
This guy, I don't know where he is. He's sleepy, creepy dose of Dion. Well, let's get started with the show. We have a big meeting this week. Wow, I'm very excited.
All right, well, perfect. We actually were not going to start with Dose anyways. He'll go second. So, Bass, we are going to start with you, though. Packers get a chance at revenge. They beat Joe Flacco and the Bengals this time, interestingly enough, 27-18. Brother, go in depth on this game. What happened, and how did we get here?
Yeah, so, going into this game, you kind of expected the Packers to kind of wipe the floor with the Bengals, kind of similar to every other opponent that's seen them since, Joe Browning took over, or Jake Browning, excuse me. But since Joe Flacco came in, it was a little bit different. And I'm not going to sit here and get too, worked up over this game, because a win is a win. And the Packers are now 3-1-1 at the top of the NFC North. That tie is actually kind of coming in clutch right now. But there still are a lot of things to clean up on this Packers football team. I feel like they made it a little bit too easy for this Bengals offense, all things considered, right? Like, if it was Joe Burrow and this happened, I'd be like, that's an awesome victory, right? It was won by 2 scores against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, but it wasn't. It was Joe Flacco who, again, for some reason kind of has our number. Now, he didn't get the win here, but he still played pretty efficient. Like, Flacco, 29 of 45. Like, we shouldn't have Flacco throwing the ball 45 times against us and only getting him on the ground once. And that kind of stems to, first, what Joe Flacco does as a quarterback is get rid of the ball very quickly, right? He's going to evade pressure in terms of getting the ball out of his hand, sometimes throwing it completely out of bounds, pretty much intentionally grounding, but they don't call it on him. And he gets rid of the ball quickly. He's going to take what you're giving to him. And I feel like the Packers should have known this more than anyone else. They had just played him, the 3 weeks prior, if you consider the bye week, 3 weeks prior when he was a Brown. And he did the same things, just quick check downs, take what was given, right? And the Packers came out and played a lot of cover 3 against the Bengals, which is what every other team has been playing against them with Browning, and it was working because he wanted to chuck it up to Burrow or to Chase, Higgins. But that wasn't the case with Flacco. And I feel like the Packers should have had a little bit more aggressiveness there, a little bit more press, maybe some more man here and there, bracket coverage over Chase, because there were multiple times when Chase, we man covered him, but it was one-on-one, and that was the history. Like, Jamar Chase is going to make great catches in those situations, no matter how good the coverage is. Now, the Packers' run defense was still very impressive, but at the same time, the Bengals have the worst run offense in the league. They average like 58 a game, and they only got 55 in this game, so not really any complaints in terms of the Packers' run defense, but I would have liked to see a little bit more aggressiveness from this pass defense. They still got a ton of pressure. It's just they didn't really convert it into sacks because Joe Flacco was getting rid of the ball so much. The only sack they had was Lucas Van Ness just timing the snap really, really well. Now, as for the Packers offense, got started with a opening drive interception. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw that, and a lot of people are, still kind of questioning, okay, what is Jordan Love doing in that situation? I will say this, he does have some inconsistencies when it comes to situational football. On a 3rd and 5, you got to understand you're in field goal range and just throw that thing out of bounds when the play's not there. But watching the tape back, I understand why he did it, but I still don't agree with the throwing that into, what was double coverage at the time of the ball getting there. But after that, Jordan Love was pretty much on fire. I feel like he was very efficient the rest of the game. He started to hit pretty much every throw. He only had like one other miss that game to Musgrave. It was a little high, but he finished 19 of 26, had a touchdown, 259 yards, 10 yards per attempt, and a quarterback rating of 101.3. And a couple things I really, really liked about the offense and what they got going out of this bye week was, one, running the ball up the middle. They started to find success doing that. Jordan Morgan got the start at right guard and never looked back. Did a really good job getting to second level, getting some blocks on linebackers, something we haven't seen in weeks prior. We had a lot of Malik Heath playing out there to help in the run blocking game. The Packers clearly out of the bye week wanted to say, hey, we're going to run the football and you can't stop it. And that's exactly what Josh Jacobs did. 18 carries, 93 yards, also had 57 through the air. And Josh Jacobs did all of this while having a stomach bug. So he basically was sick the entire game, but had a really, really nice game. Another thing on the offense, I really liked a lot of use of play action, under center play action, something that I think the Packers have kind of, moved away from early this season. And I like that they kind of went back to that. Jordan Love able to be mobile outside of play action. And then finally, Matthew Golden, a nice breakout game for him, albeit only 3 receptions on 5 targets. But this guy has to have 8+ targets a game, because 3 receptions for 86 yards. And it just feels like Matthew Golden's starting to hit that next stride of being a key target for Jordan Love. And you could see why they love him so much in this offense. He's a downfield separator, and he plays like a veteran. When the Packers needed it most, up by 6, they had a 3rd and 5 in their own territory. If they don't get it, they punt it away to the Bengals, and they have a chance to go win it with an extra point. 3rd and 5, and it's a deep post route to Matthew Golden, and it's covered up. He has a guy on him, man coverage, and a safety over the top. But he sees the play break down. Jordan Love extends it outside of the left, and Matthew Golden does a veteran move by undercutting the safety, working back towards the football, finding the open zone, and getting that huge gain for what would be the game ender on offense after the Packers made that field goal by none other than Lucas Haversick, who filled in very, very nicely for Brandon McManus, who had a quadricep injury. So that was great to see him go perfect on the day. Haversick was 2 for 2 on field goals and 3 for 3 on extra points. There's still some things to clean up, but coming out of a bye, I can't sit here and complain too much about a win that put the Packers first now in the NFC North. Now we head to week 7, head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. There's some things to clean up, but overall, there's a lot of good from that game as well.
You talked about Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, all 3 of them struggling a little bit as far as yards per carry this year. And there's obviously different reasons as to why that could be. Now, Jacobs had the stomach bug, as you mentioned, bad Bengals defense, one of his better games potentially of the season. So when you look at Josh Jacobs in totality, is it the offensive line and all the different lineups that you guys have been putting out there? I know that you guys have been banged up with Tom and some of the other guys have been in and out of the lineup. Is it that simple, or is Josh Jacobs maybe struggling a little bit after getting as many carries as he's been getting the last couple of years? Like, how do you see Josh Jacobs and his yards per carry? Do you think this is like he's on the upswing? What do you think of him?
To me, it was never Jacobs. Like, yeah, okay, sure, he has some mistakes here and there, but when you watched early on in this season, it felt like a lot of the time he was getting contacted at the line of scrimmage, and he was still gaining 2 yards after that. Like, he was one of the earliest contacted running backs in terms of, like, statistically, him and Ashton Genty through the first 4 weeks in terms of, not having much space. And the interior offensive line, had a lot of different plug-in linemen, like Aaron Banks was injured a lot of the time. Sean Ryan was kind of inconsistent. Zach Tom, like you said, was out. So there wasn't really any continuity on that offensive line. And I think they found something, at least with this week, against a poor Bengals defense, finding success in the interior blocking in terms of the run game. So I really liked what I saw there. I think if they can continue that, it's bombs away for Josh Jacobs. It wasn't nothing from my standpoint that I saw from him that was like, okay, he's lost a step.
All right, sounds good. All right, Dose, we got to go to you. Lions lose. Lions lose to the Chiefs, 30-17. Some interesting things come out of this one. Brian Branch seems to be getting suspended for an altercation after the game with Juju Smith-Schuster. The game starts out kind of hot, where it looks as if the Lions are going to get this touchdown on a trick play, and then it gets called back, and everything just kind of seemed to snowball from there on the Lions versus the Chiefs. 30-17. Break this game down for me. What did you see in this game versus Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, let me apologize. I know I look goofy on this camera. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm struggling over here. I'm glad we're live. But
well,
nah,
listen, it's a little different than this. Normally we see Dose like
see,
this.
that's true. Maybe it is better. This one doesn't have a zoom option, so I'm stuck with this. All I can do is get closer. Look, man, this one, we had a really tough sequence. It was sequences. Like I would go to the first half. You know how we ended that first half. Had a really tough drop. St. Brown on 4th down. Kind of missed some blocks on the interior there. We were up 10-6 at that point. It was an opportunity to, you felt at very least, hey, we're going to run this thing pretty close to halftime. You know, you walk away with a field goal. You're probably up 7.5. Maybe you're up double digits. You know, you score a touchdown on that drive. So turning the ball over in that spot, they turn around and score the touchdown. Then we're going to half down 10-13, understanding they're going to get the ball coming out of half. So it was a game that didn't have a lot of possessions to that point. I mean, our first drive, as you mentioned, was like 10 minutes long. We ended up kicking a field goal at the 1-yard line. So early on, it was like, hey, this is good. You know, we're keeping them off the field. But the flip side is once we had that mistake, it kind of flipped the script of the mistake that, or I don't even call it a mistake, the 4th down that they didn't convert in the first half. That felt like the momentum swing. We're up 10-6 at that point. Harper comes in for Branch, does his thing, gets a great pass breakup. And then to have that sequence, flip it around at midfield and give them the ball right back, that was tough. So you come out, they go down, they score. And then for us, I thought we were a drive late in terms of kind of the adjustments we had offensively. I mean, we were running the ball well, so I didn't hate it. I understood it. I thought we were running the ball pretty well, and we were very heavy up to that point in the game, and I felt like we kind of just stuck with what was working. And then it stalled out. About midfield, we had a negative on the screen, which is unfortunate. Stalled out there. And then the next drive, we were able to, you know, make some tweaks and really just go into pass mode on the first down, which worked really well. We worked our way down the field. Every first down was successful. We scored that touchdown, made the game again. And then defensively, I had some problems with the defense. I'm going to be honest with you. I had some real problems. But understanding where they were personnel-wise, they were leaning into their 3 linebackers. They leaned into what they had in that game. And I think Kansas City, honestly, I think it took them too long to attack us properly. But eventually, I think they started to find some of those openings that were there. And they ended up scoring. Once they went up 27-17, it kind of felt like it was over at that point because the drives were just so long on both sides. So it was just like a few plays like that, a couple sequences that were really messy. We didn't really make the big play, it felt like, at any point in that game outside of Laporta's back of the end zone touchdown. But it was a lot of like those close things that just went the wrong way the entire time. So overall, I wasn't mad with much of it, to be honest with you. Like I thought defensively, I thought we were going to have to score about 30. I think that was the case in this one. But, you know, we left some points out there. So we fell. They gave up 30 points in this game, but I think the game went about as I thought it would go. I thought it'd be pretty high scoring. Maybe we didn't score. We obviously didn't score enough, but I think both sides, the way that we approached this game, I think for the most part was the right strategy. I thought we were just a little bit late offensively adjusting, and then defensively, I thought there was just some hit and miss in terms of the way we were approaching attacking them in that game. You gonna make me sit with this?
Yeah,
no, that's crazy.
Please keep this.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, this is unnecessary. You know what I mean? I mean, this is just maybe sit with the loss. That's fine. Well, look, man, I think we should transition to something that's very important. Let's talk about the Packers loss to the Browns a couple weeks ago. So
when
game,
was that? When was that?
No, man, look,
I would talk about it, but I'm not up on the screen. So,
well, you know, okay. Well, look, man, I'll just keep going at that point. We're gonna
Man,
be
that new camera, man, is hitting hard.
You see it trying to focus and stuff. You see that? It's crazy. Yeah, shout out to the $30 camera. I don't know where I got this thing from, to be honest with you. People don't care. We don't care. But no, I mean, look, I think we're gonna be okay. I think after this loss, we're gonna be fine. Like I said, I think a lot of it played out the way we expected. Tampa Bay is gonna be a big challenge this week because we're playing another team that hopefully with all their banged up receivers, we don't feel the effects of Brian Branch not being in as much. But when you lose him at the time of like, hey, cornerback, you really don't have anybody. Like right now we got a Meek playing out wide, which is cool. But then in the slot, you had Mole stepping in there and they didn't trust him a ton. So they're like, all right, let's go 3 linebackers a little bit. And I thought they were doing it in a spot where it's like, okay, this doesn't make sense anymore. Like I got it at the jump, but at some point here, let's get a little more speed on the field. Like now we're not doing that. Got us into some trouble. And you have Rocky Sin. So now the Lions go out. They had Kendall Fuller. Now you take Branch out of the mix. You're probably going back up safety. So it's just going to emphasize everything else. But the offense just has to be cleaner to that point. Like this was a winnable game if you scored your 30 like you thought you were going to, but you didn't. So it's a good team, man. It's a good team over there in Kansas City. Naylor, are we good?
no, he's had his power cut out, kind of like the Lions.
Wait, Dose, don't you have power to do this?
I don't. This is great.
Oh.
I feel like this has happened before with Dion got stuck on the screen. I think this has happened before.
No, it was me. I got stuck on the screen.
Well, You're killing it, Dion. Kind of want to ask you.
Hey, Dion, let me ask you a
favorite
question.
color.
How's the
Yeah,
high
yeah.
school season going?
Yeah, see, that's also not the question to go to because it's not going well. So
Oh,
this is just a really bad. Yeah, you know what though, Nick? We did win our last game. We won our last game. We're we're getting hot at the
Someone
right
in
time.
Detroit had to win. Sorry.
Yeah, we can pass this around. We can still ask questions, just like a podcast. We can do that. One bar, I'll go to you. One bar.
Man,
What
I
happened?
got to be on bye week. I got to sit back and just watch everything unfold. I was hoping you guys were going to go 0 for 3. 0 for 3.
Yeah.
The Lions are the only ones that came up and got the big L for me.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Is
What's
Kirby?
the game we haven't done? Do that game. I'll stand here and
Bears.
do stuff.
Bears?
Right.
We
I'll
got
act it
Bears
out. Go
shocked
ahead,
the
Nick.
world. Jake freaking Moody, baby.
Break it down, Nick.
No, I mean, listen, shout out to Jake Moody coming in. Oh, what was that? I can't hear him anymore. Can you guys?
I think he's trying to mimic you talking. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
like it.
okay.
I
Yeah,
like it.
my bad.
Keep moving your mouth.
Listen, no, Jake Moody coming in, undrafted rookie free agent, did a really good job. Obviously, the one block field goal wasn't an ideal situation, but he got the job done at the end, and a guy that was called up literally an hour before the game. I think that's pretty impressive. So, and also the Bears themselves were able to just come together at the end of the game. They finally got the run going. Really helped out, just balance out the offense. But overall, the team looked a lot better. Dose is just trying to keep up with me talking, man.
People are probably like, "What the fuck?"
I saw that in the chat.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
what the heck? What the helly?
What? Real
Here,
quick.
wait, no, you can
maybe-
beat me right now, Dose.
I can share.
I
Screen,
am.
though.
My name is Dose of Dion. I am a big Lions reporter. Do a really good job. Thank you, Dose. Very good.
Oh no, I can't.
You can't do anything. What happens if you leave? Does it go black screen? Now
No,
it's me.
it's on you,
God damn it. No, hold on. Now I'll leave. I'll come back. We'll just see if it gets to Nick. That's what we're gonna do. Wait, if I leave, can I get back in though?
I don't
This is a
think
game-
so.
This is a
So-
game I'm gonna
No.
have to play. Well, unless Dion, so he left. Unless all right, for everyone questioning in the comments, our host Jesse lost power. So he decided that he wanted to zoom in on Dose's face. And when he loses power, now he can't switch it. But we have Richie, the Jets fan, coming in, and I kind of want to hear what he has to say about the Jets. And I think he just fixed us.
Oh,
I think we're
nice.
good now. So now we need
There
to
we go.
All right.
You
there
don't
he
want to.
is.
You don't want to. I'm not going to infiltrate this with Jets talk, guys. Don't you
Yeah.
worry about that. All right. So technical difficulties. The power went out from our great host Jesse right now, but I think we should all be good here. So I'll let you guys continue the show. Shout out to the NFC North Roundtable. You guys are killing it. The only division in football with winning record across the board. You guys are awesome. I'm literally live in the AFC's Roundtable at the same time, so I got to go back. But you guys are good to go.
Thanks, Richie.
Richie with the save.
Oh man.
Salute to the chat. Hit that like button. Love you.
There we go. All right.
All right, well, I think we just go to Nick then. Yeah, Nick, go ahead.
Much
All
less
right, so we're
weird.
talking about the Bears Commanders game. No, I mean, like, I think everyone here saw it. Sorry to the Bills for obviously losing against Atlanta, but the exciting game is that Bears beat the Commanders coming off of a bye week. We're 1-10 in the bye week or after the bye week since 2014. Bears got it done. They dug deep. They found a way to win in this game. They looked flat at a lot of moments. No energy. They had a lot of things not going in their favor, and they were able to get the job done at the end of the day. Caleb Williams becoming the first Bears quarterback to throw 5 200-yard passing games in the first 5 weeks of the season. So that's progression to say the least. And we finally got the ground attack going. DeAndre Swift with over 100 yards rushing, 67 yards receiving, a total of 175 yards on the day, and the lone passing touchdown from Caleb Williams. So Williams, no turnovers, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, looked solid throughout. He's on pace to have a 4,000-yard passing season. So first time we've had that in Bears history, which is pretty exciting, even though it's in 17 games. Still better than nothing. But the defense showed up when needed. Jaquan Brisker, obviously, with the interception in the red zone, was pretty electric. We finally started getting pressure on the quarterback. Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, all getting in the backfield. And they dug deep. And then the man of the hour is Jake Moody. I mean, he went 4 for 5 on field goals, getting 1 blocked, 2 for 2 on extra points, and he was called up an hour before the game. So being able to do that shows a lot of energy. It shows a lot of faith from Ben Johnson and his kicker. And I'm really excited about the guy. So Ben Johnson confirmed today, though, that if Cairo's back this week, he's going to be the kicker. But a good problem to have is that the Bears have kicker depth, to say the least. But someone can obviously claim Moody off the practice squad if needed. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happens if Cairo goes again this week. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with the Bears win. 3-game winning streak, back above 500, first time with Ben Johnson. And I'm sitting right next to One Bar right now at 3-2. So pretty exciting stuff from the Bears perspective. I know this happened last year where they started hot early. So I'm trying to not get overly excited about it, but it's hard not to when teams been playing better at week in and week out.
How's Luther Burden? Because I know there's a lot of like talk about him, from a Packers perspective, because it's like Luther Burden, Matthew Golden. So like how's he kind of been?
Yeah, Burden had a really good game. He actually, before DeAndre, he had the longest gain by a wide receiver that game on the Bears side of the ball with 30+ yard reception. He had over, I believe it was 50 yards receiving. Sorry, I don't have the box score up right now. But Burden had a really nice game. He had his 100-yard game against the Dallas Cowboys, was a little quiet against the Raiders. And then he finally started getting more into the offense. So he has over 150-something yards receiving now. He has a receiving touchdown, but his yards per catch is over 15 right now. So he looks really solid at the moment. He's getting more involved in the offense week in and week out. I expect him to have a big game against the Saints, or I hope he does. But yeah, no, Luther Burden's been a lot more involved. The one thing that's frustrating is that Colson Loveland has not been super involved. And I know I keep seeing like Tyler Warren's doing this, Tyler Warren's doing that. If you look at the Bears wide receiver to touchdown to running back throw chart, we're barely throwing to the tight end right now. So little bothered that we're not using our number one pick or even Cole Kmet, who we paid last year. So overall, the Bears offense is just super balanced right now. Hopefully we get the tight end room going, but at least our rookie wide receiver and Luther Burden's getting going. So it's exciting to see that yard after catch that we brought him in for, and he's moving the chains every single time he touches it.
All right. So we went through all the games, right? Okay, so I guess then we'll go to One Bar because you guys had the bye week and you guys got the game of the week, man. I mean, this is a close spread. Philly Vikings. I'm gonna be honest, One Bar, before you go here, I'm liking Minnesota. I'm all Philly completely. This feels like Philly when they were heading to the playoffs and they got smoked by Tampa Bay, and it was like, okay, they just keep losing every game. I get the sense Philly's gonna start doing that, and it's just starting now. I think this is a great spot for Minnesota. But One Bar, how are you feeling about this one?
Man, I mean, Philly just seems like a mess. I mean, right now, 2-game losing streak, just lost to the Giants. I mean, as a Philly fan, that's just absolutely gotta hurt. I mean, I see this as a monster game for both the Eagles and the Vikings. The Eagles, like, they got to right the ship. They got to get morale going before the wheels just completely fall off. And the Vikings, from their standpoint, it's basically like they're 3-2. They've been overseas for the last 2 games. They finally get a noon game, which just seems weird right now. I mean, it's the Vikings need to come in and show what they got. Like, it's either shit or get off the pot. So far at 3-2, they have a winning record, but they've had some horrible moments and they've had some good moments. It's like a win like this at home could really help put them on the map. And obviously a 4-2 record would be nice going into that short week Thursday game against the Chargers. But Vikings wise, well, actually, starting with the Eagles, I mean, there's like I said, there's no doubt that the talent is there. What's going on with him is just a mystery. They got some injury issues. It looked like today that Carter is going to be back. Quinyon Mitchell practiced. Dickerson, he practiced. So we'll see if those guys actually go. Obviously, if they are out, that's even going to be a bigger hit to the Eagles. But the Eagles haven't been able to run the ball. Even against the Giants, it seemed like watching that game, it seemed like their players didn't even want to be there. It's just a weird feeling. And the Vikings need to take advantage of it. They need to come out firing right out of the gate. The big question for the Vikings is going to be that quarterback position. Is it going to be Carson Wentz? Is it going to be JJ McCarthy? They keep saying, they're not going to put McCarthy out there until he's 100%. Today, McCarthy at his press conference said he's not 100%. So I don't know if he's showing his cards there or whatnot. I think if McCarthy is a seasoned vet, there's no question they're going to put him out there. They got this dude they're just putting baby gloves on him, which I get. So I do expect it to be Carson Wentz, regardless of who it's going to be. Like, there's going to be opportunity there, even if Mitchell plays, which he probably will play. I mean, they got Adoree Jackson on the other side, one of the worst rated corners in the league right now. They got Keely Ringo in their secondary as well. So, they might go all in on Justin Jefferson, but I like my chances with Jordan Addison against an Adoree Jackson. The biggest keys to the game is to come out firing. The Eagles, like I said, Barkley hasn't been doing his thing. They haven't been running the ball very well. But if the Eagles get up early, even a little bit, and we give them the opportunity to run the ball, Vikings have been giving up some yards on the ground. So we don't even want to give them the opportunity to do that because Barkley will get his going. So the Vikings got to come out. They just got to go for the throat. There's nothing better than beating the Eagles. The Eagles are the worst. I love beating the Eagles. There's nothing better. Watching Nick Sirianni out there just losing his shit on the sidelines is beautiful. But it will be a tough task. Vikings got to get the run game going. They got to go for the throat. Justin Jefferson's got to have a big game. Jordan Addison has to have a big game. For the Vikings, that bye week, we're getting Blake Cashman back. That's going to help the run defense immensely. With him out there, it is night and day. Donovan Jackson, first-round guard, will be back as well. This offensive line is finally getting healthy, which will be a big deal. They'll have to be hopefully Jordan Mason can get his stuff going. But it's going to be – I do actually think the Vikings are going to win at home. But they got some stuff to clean up. Penalties, they've been a disaster at penalties. Jalen Hurts has been sacked, 18, 20 times, something like that this year. They got to keep that going. So they got to put it in Jalen Hurts' hands to beat us. And if they do that, I feel like we will be able to put him on the ground and just get the dub and go 4-2. So I think it'll be close. I see Will Reichard coming out at the end, Jake Moody-esque, and getting the game-winning field goal, 24-21 against the Eagles, and the Eagles will get their third loss in a row, and Philly will absolutely implode.
Real quick one, because I'm sure you hit on it. I just missed it. JJ McCarthy, is he playing this weekend? And then also, just one update, like on Dallas Turner. Is he cooking this year or what?
Dallas Turner's doing fine. I mean, obviously, trading up to get him, the expectations are just high as hell right now. I think he's got a sack. We want more from him. Andrew Van Ginkel has been out. We need more. We need more pressures. But when you look at the time, actually, when they're blitzing him, it's a very low percentage, which is weird. Like Brian Flores, you think you just say every time, you just say, go get the quarterback. And that is not the case. They're doing that with Jonathan Grenard. So it's weird. So like, if you say, how's he doing? I'd say he's doing fine. He's not, he ain't doing great. He ain't doing horrible. We need more from Dallas Turner. We need more. I want more. We need some sacks. Put him on the ground. So yeah, JJ McCarthy, I think it's going to be Carson Wentz. He's practicing. But like I said, he came out at the press conference today and said he's not 100% yet. And when you got a high ankle sprain, you're a quarterback that relies on your mobility. Like, do you toss him out there? If he's not 100%, I'm putting Carson Wentz out there all day long. Philadelphia revenge game. Carson Wentz will either go out there and make a fool of himself or just make Philly fans wish they weren't watching the game. So I don't think it comes down to the quarterback who plays on Sunday, to be honest with you. They got to get the ball out to their receivers and attack that secondary and find a Dory Jackson and throw it every damn time that way.
All right. Well, let's build on that. Nick, do you think the Vikings are going to win this game? I mean, what do you think, man? What's going on with Philly?
No, Philly just looks lost right now. I think that there's some locker room issues right now. I think that there's just some miscommunications. Honestly, I think Minnesota can win this game. Like coming off the bye, I think Minnesota's, one bar, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that they have some guys returning. I think Philadelphia also they haven't looked like themselves, and maybe this could be it. Like they finally might have lost their mojo, and this is a game where Minnesota can come in, win. They're obviously sitting at 3-2, so they've won some good ball games so far. I really think that Minnesota is going to win this one. I think it'll be a close one, but I got Minnesota winning 24-17.
Okay, that's wild. It seems wild. Bass, what do you think?
Yeah, so as much as like it'd be, I hate the Eagles too, don't get me wrong. But as much as I'd love to sit and take Minnesota here, I just feel like the Eagles could have some type of bounce back game here. 2-game skid. I think it would be fun to have like a Carson Wentz legacy game, right? Like against his former team and whatnot. But I feel like I just don't know if that's good in the case for him. Like, I just don't know if that's in the cards for him, excuse me. So I don't know. Eagles do look sloppy, but I think the recency bias of that Giants game just all has us picking against them, and fair. Like, it's completely fair. I mean, the Giants shouldn't have done what they did to the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think Sirianni is a good coach. They have a lot of ball players. I think they're finally going to start really leaning into Saquon running the football. And if they do find success there, But I do like the matchup, Flores versus Jalen Hurts. I do really like it, but I feel like I see a Philadelphia Eagles bounce back game, and I actually have the same score as Nick, just in reverse. So I have the Eagles 24-17.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'll wrap it up because I'm with you, one bar. I think they're going to be good this weekend. I don't buy into Philadelphia. I think it's over. I think I think they're going to miss the playoffs this year. I'm probably definitely overreacting, but I think
I'm fine
this
with
thing
that.
is,
But
yeah, I think this thing's going straight downhill, man. I think this will be a rough. I can see them losing pretty handily in this game. Like I don't think Minnesota's at that point right now where I think like where they were last. I think last year's Minnesota beats this team by like 2 touchdowns, but this year I think they win it handily. I'm gonna take them by 7 in this game, kind of like we've been across the board here. I'll go 27-20 in this one. Okay, so with that, let's go to the next one because the Bears. Nick, did you say they won 3 in a row?
Three in a row.
Three in a row.
And back-to-back 1-point wins.
Okay, but now you got your hands full. Now you got the Saints. Okay, so good luck with that. First off, I'll start with you, man. I mean, is this 4 in a row? I mean, it feels like it's lined up for that, but maybe this is the trap game, as they say.
No, I hope it's not a trap game. It's at home because, and it's a rare home game because the Bears never seem to play at home and the Packers always seem to play at Lambeau. They have a lot of savvy veterans. This is Dennis Allen's revenge game. His old team used to be the head coach of before he got canned. I think that Dennis Allen has been watching the Saints. Ben Johnson talked about it today in his presser saying that, listen, we're ready for anything. We know what they're capable of. They know what they're capable of. We can't take this one lightly. And for me, I think that the Bears need to just keep pedal to the metal, keep playing what they're playing. They're confident right now. They can't get overconfident. So, I mean, there's a lot of veterans on that Saints side of the ball. I think that what's going to happen in this one is going to be closer. It's going to be another close game. That just seems to be the theme of the Bears this year. It is at home, though. The crowd, Chicago's electric, by the way. I've been wearing this every single time I go to the office after a win, undefeated with that. And just going around the city, 2 days after the win, and everyone's in blue and orange. So players know it. The city knows it. Soldier Field's going to be rocking. We have a really healthy roster right now. We still haven't heard back on the DJ Moore situation. He was kept overnight in Washington, D.C. after the game due to a groin injury. Don't know the severity of it. They didn't really hit on it today, but hopefully everything's fine. I'm excited for this one, and I got the Bears obviously winning this one. I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout as you would expect with the Saints, but I think it's going to be a nice 10-point victory by Chicago.
Interesting. Now, real quick, just as a side note, because like this is kind of, I mean, I guess it's not new. Last year you guys got out to a hot start. Are you guys talking trade deadline targets? Like, is that the mode you're in right now?
Yeah, there's been a couple linked to the Bears. I think Trey Hendrickson is linked to anyone that wants that needs an edge. Bears were potentially looking for a running back, but after DeAndre Swift's big game, if he can do it again, I think that we're fine. We really don't need too much, though. Really, edge is the big position that the Bears need. Running back would be a second, but I think they'll have this one figured out. Kyle Monangai finally got going against the Commanders. But from a trade deadline perspective, if they make a move at anybody, it's going to be an edge. I just don't know who that'll be. And the Bears don't have the money right now, so they would have to trade someone with them. Maybe Braxton Jones, who we benched for Theo Benedict, who's been electric so far as the Bears starting left tackle. But nothing confirmed at the moment, just a lot of rumors going around.
Wondering maybe one of those guys from New Orleans. I've been seeing Cam Jordan. Granderson always feels like he's on the trade. Every year it feels like he's brought up. All right, Bass, I'll go to you. What do you think happens in this one?
So the Saints are interesting to me because they're 1-5, and I don't know whether or not to sit here and be like, is Spencer Rattler good or not? Because the Saints are 1-5, but at the same time, like he's throwing near 70% completion. He's at 65.5, 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. Like he's actually not playing that bad, but that team overall, I'm not huge on. They have an average defense, like nothing really to write home about. And the Bears are on fire. Like they won 3 in a row. And Nick, I'm pretty sure, I think I saw you retweet something about it. They're the only team to score 21 plus in each game, right?
That is correct, my friend. And they've scored in the last 12 of 13 quarters.
So they're on fire on offense. You saw what Swift did. It seems like the Commanders had no answer for him. So I think if they do get the run game going yet again, like they did this past week, I have foresee no way the Saints are going to be able to stop them. So I do have it closer than a 2-score game, because I just feel like the Saints are a little bit sneaky, but not sneaky enough to like randomly pull one out here. So I have the Bears winning 27-21.
Love it, Bass. Thank you.
There we go.
One bar. You think they win too?
Yeah, I mean, Baz, you kind of nailed it. Like, the Saints are just a weird team. Their record is horrible, but they've actually been pretty close with some very good teams this year. And my main question was like Spencer Rattler. Like, what the hell is he? Is he actually decent? This is shocking what he's doing out there. But it is the Saints. Like, I would rather go in the corner over in my room over here and just stare at the corner for 3 hours and watch a Saints game. Like, the Saints they're just not a fun team to watch. I don't want to watch it, Nick. I wish you the best. I'm not going to watch a single second of this thing. But the Bears have been hot. The Bears have been hot. And I think Caleb Williams is going to have time in the pocket. I think he's going to take advantage of it. And there's no reason the Bears shouldn't win. There really isn't. I got the Bears winning 27-24. I think it will be close. The Saints have kept it close. But as long as Caleb has time in the pocket, he's gonna put up some yards. I actually think he's gonna have a pretty damn good game.
I always hate watching the Saints on TV. It feels so dark. I don't like it. There's something off about that indoor stadium. All right, it's weird. Yeah, and they're trash too. But I'll say this, Nate, you're gonna hate me for this one, but I was with you last week. I think the Saints are winning this game. I think the Saints are going to win this game. They're going to get a couple wins this year. I don't expect them to go 1-16. And this feels like a good spot to do that. Y'all won 3 in a row. It's a good opportunity where you guys all said Rattlers actually played pretty good football so far this season. And what Bass said, the defense isn't great, but I think they're fairly well-rounded. They don't have a lot of weaknesses, I feel, with that team, especially with Kool-Aid really picking it up for them in the back end. Like, they're really strong back there too. And then, like, up front, I feel like when you kind of compare O-line, D-line, like some of the issues like with Chicago, I don't love Chicago's interior. I don't love the Saints' interior, but the Saints are pretty good outside of that. And I feel like with the secondary, like the Saints have a few weapons that can be a problem still. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but the Saints have just hung around with everybody. So I get the sense Saints are going to find a way in this one. I'm going to go 2017 Saints. Nick, I'm not going to give you a chance to respond to that, but you know what I mean?
You
Like,
can't stop me from responding. Come on, you're just coming off a loss. You're just jealous. That's what they all say these days. That's okay. Well,
no, that's fair. I really did want to take everybody to lose, especially this next one. We got the Packers next. No, but before we get to that, though, before we get to Packers Cardinals, real quick, Bass has got a word for us, and we're going to talk a little bit about not that one or this one.
There we are.
This one.
There we are. All right, guys. Big shout out to Sleeper, sponsor of NFC North Roundtable. Use code RTS. You'll get that $100 deposit match, all the 100% up to $100. And actually, Sleeper is offering a really good promo right now. New users get a free $20 play, no deposit needed. So if you're on the fence, if you're like, hey, I don't want to deposit any money, go check it out. Link down in the description, and you get a free $20 play. Like, if you're on the fence, just do it. You can make your picks for the upcoming Thursday night game. I'm looking at my phone right now, and there is a profit boost on an Aaron Rodgers more than 220.5 passing yards. And I feel like it's a lock, man. A-Rod's playing good this year. Steelers are playing good. Would you go more or less on 220.5 for Aaron Rodgers against the Bengals with their garbage defense? Right. There we go. Some A-Rod. There we go. What about you, Dos? You going less? It seems like you kind of hating on every NFC. Yeah. I was going to say every NFC North team, but Aaron Rodgers is not NFC North anymore, is he? So, but you're just hating. You're hating.
I'm definitely hating. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, code RTS. Get that deposit matched. Link down in the description. Get $20 in free play for new users. Shout out Sleeper.
That's fantastic. Shout out to Bass for killing that. All right, real quick. We also got to talk about RotoWire. Okay, so bear with me on this one. RotoWire, also a sponsor of Roundtable Sports, works directly with Sleeper as well. I know this gives you a lot of support with your fantasy leagues. I can use that. Actually, I gave some advice last week, though, Bass, and I was like, hey, go pick up Matthew Golden. Picked up Matthew Golden. He played, and he was the best player this past week. Told my dad, I was like, hey, man, Matthew Golden's going to roll. I didn't know he was on free agency, but he's rolling now. So maybe this continues. Maybe getting back to that Rookie of the Year talk a little bit here. Check out RotoWire, the ultimate fantasy football tool to dominate your fantasy league. You can sync your league up to RotoWire, and it will give you all the data you need to make sure you win your fantasy league this season. Link in the description to sign up for 15% discount with code RTS. So with that, we'll go to that Packers game. Is this another 1 o'clock start?
It's a 4:25, surprisingly.
Okay.
We've had a lot of those.
4:25. And it's Arizona.
Yeah.
On the road.
No. It's in Arizona.
Okay, yeah, Arizona.
Packers don't play every game in Lambeau, actually. It's quite of a shot.
Wow, that's a big one.
See, that's I made a bad assumption there. But Arizona's been weird this season, Bass. Arizona,
Mhm.
if you don't know what you're going to get with these guys, even though
You
the
don't.
record isn't looking great right now. What do you think we're going to get?
Well, first off, I guess it does depend on who you're playing at quarterback, right? Because Kyler Murray has that foot injury, and it seems like it could be more of a multi-week thing. Now, he was limited today, but I saw some reports come out that like it could be similar to one of those like Liz Frank injuries or whatnot, I believe. So if you don't have Kyler Murray, then you have Jacoby Brissett, but at the same time, Brissett just led the team to 27 points against the Colts and had a close game against the really good Colts. So some people would argue that the Cardinals kind of looked better with Brissett, which is a little bit odd, but in terms of their offense, I feel like maybe you have a case to say that, considering, they tied their season high in points on offense. Outside of that, the defense overall for Arizona, I'm not really moved by. 24th overall in yards allowed, 28th in pass defense, middle of the pack and rush defense at 15th. And right now the Packers have the number one run defense in terms of yards per game allowed. And I don't really know what they're doing over there at running back. Is it going to be Bam Knight? Is it going to be Michael Carter? Who knows? Doesn't really matter in my opinion. And last week Brissett threw the ball 44 times. And if you put the ball in Jacoby Brissett's hands to win the game against a defense like the Green Bay Packers, I think the Packers are going to be able to come out on top there. I think he's not like Joe Flacco. He's not just going to quickly get rid of the ball in 1 second. I think the Packers are going to get home. They are going to get pressure on him very, very early and often, get him on the ground a couple of times, and force Jacoby Brissett to beat the Packers. Now, I will say this, the Cardinals, although they lost 3 straight, they're by a collective total of 9 points. Like all those 3 losses are very, very close games against Seattle, Tennessee, and Indianapolis, two of which winning football teams. So, it's not a game to look past. The Packers still need to game plan correctly for this game, not look past it to Pittsburgh, which we play the next Sunday night after that. But I have it a 1-score game, but I do have the Packers winning in Arizona. I have 31-24.
I will say it feels like it's time for Maserati Marv to start cooking. That's what we're waiting. That's what they
Concussion. He's got a concussion.
We'll see never mind. He ain't gonna cook nothing. All right, y'all are winning. I mean, what are we doing at this point? I mean, all right. One more, go ahead, man. It's just ruined the whole thing. One more, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Bazzy said, like, to me, like the Packers Cardinals is very similar to the Bears Saints. Like the Cardinals are a team that everyone just kind of looks past, but they've really kind of stuck with some of the teams they've played. And obviously, I mean, Brissett is going to be the quarterback. It's all going to be on his shoulders as far as if they win this game or not. And to me, Packers, like, the last 3 weeks haven't been great in Green Bay land from somebody outside. Like, I mean, even last week against the Bengals, they got the dub, but it wasn't pretty by any means. They should have beat them by 3 scores. So if I'm a Packers fan, which I'm going to take a shower after this just for even saying that, is like, I want some dominance. Like, go out and kick the shit out of the Cardinals. This is a game that they should go out and beat the hell out of them. This isn't a 1-score game. Like, go out and do your thing. But I think it's going to be close. I think the Packers are going to win. They should win. But I think it'll be a 1-score game. I got 24-17. But if the Packers are the team that everybody's talking up and their roster is very, very solid, go out and show it. Like, go out and show why you're up top the NFC North. These little wins aren't cutting it, man. I want to see, put your big boy pants on, Packers. Let's see what you got.
I'll take little wins all the way to the playoffs.
I can't wait to watch Jordan Love just do something crazy. I can't wait.
He only has 2 interceptions, man. It's not that
ugly.
deep.
They're ugly.
Yeah, they are.
He needs to put his pants on.
Hey, a win's a win. Packers should win. They will win.
Well, real quick, because Chris O has a very important comment here. Shout out to Chris O with the 2-piece. Packers lost to the Browns. Packers suck. School Vikings.
He's
one more.
Real quick, he's just got the autocorrect on to every sentence. When he clicks the period, it just runs Packer sucks Skull Vikes at the end, because it's every time, man. Every time I commend the consistency there.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. All right, Nick, what do you think happens? Packers continuing to win or what?
We are the best division in football for a reason. I think that Green Bay, they're in Arizona. They're not at Lambeau. That's confirmed.
No, surprisingly, it's confirmed.
Quadruple confirmed.
Yeah.
Man, that makes it interesting.
That was interesting.
Changes things up.
He's going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No, I got the Packers winning this one. I think that the Cardinals, no offense to the Cardinals fans, if there's any like second team fans or any Cardinals fans in the chat, but I feel like they're slowly turning into a dumpster fire, and that team just isn't going in any direction. I think the Packers have a direction. They also know they have to win this game because the North is so close right now. So they're going to be playing extra hard. I got Green Bay walking in this one, steamrolling Arizona 35-10.
What if it was in Lambeau? You got like 42-3 or something.
Lambeau, I would have 21-0.
We scored less. Gotcha.
Score
Well,
less
that's
because you don't have to worry about it. And also, you're playing in a beautiful dome stadium, so the conditions are a lot easier. At Lambeau, you got to deal with a little bit more, but
Just like those two other NFC North teams, soon to be 3. Domes.
soon to be 3, baby. Soon to be 3.
Yikes. North, we're talking about here. 3 teams in a dome. Ridiculous. Story for another time.
Yeah, but real
That's
quick,
an off-season
They're nice.
shout out to funny boy Rody. Is that right?
Hey,
Funny
what
boy
up?
Rody? All right, Nick, you can read this one.
The NFC North is the wait. You want me to say it in the voice, or do you want me to read it?
Oh,
in normal
please. Yeah, do the voice.
voice? Rody, that's a pretty good name. That's my last name in real life. All right, we have to find the comment. Lots of comments coming in. Put an FGB in the chat, maybe. What? Nope. Sorry, Bass. Anyway, the NFC North is the best division in the league, and the NFC West is nothing but frauds in that division. Wow, but a bunch of frauds. I know all about frauds. They tried getting me out, but I still got in anyway. Go ahead. Let's keep going with the show.
Well, real quick, Jody
oh.
just came with the
Whoa.
Jody.
Brian Branch for president.
I'll pass.
Number 32, go Lions.
Hey,
you know what? That's
Jody,
actually
let's
really
go.
I love it. I want to get a little free Brian Branch shirt. That's kind of what I'm, looking into right now. It won't make sense after this week. I'll still wear it though. I got a lot of things that don't make sense. I got a shirt that says Revenge Store from 2020. I think we won 5 games that year. I still wear it.
Is
Hey.
he suspended? Like
He
I
got suspended for 1 game.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's like, yeah, man, the fine is, but I didn't even see it. I left, came back, seen dudes laying on the ground suspended. It's like, oh, of course. Here
Is
we
that
go.
Juju photo real?
I
Or
think
that
it is.
AI? That's
think
crazy.
it's-
That photo is wild, dude. I don't know what's AI anymore. I thought it was an AI picture.
Yeah, it didn't look like that deep from the. It looked like you just hit him once or something. But like in the photo, it looks like these dudes just went at it and like
Yeah.
Brian was okay. Anyways, that leads to Monday Night Football. Lions Bucks, man, this is a big one. 5-1. Bucks just keep winning and they score a ton of points. They keep doing that, but they continue to get banged up at receiver. They're just finding guys. And Tez Johnson cooks this past week. He gets a big play. They know what they're doing at receiver, man. Igbuka's been fantastic this year. They just find a way just any weapon that steps in that offense makes it work. Shout to Baker. Baker is one of the craziest quarterbacks in the league.
Dude.
Just watch how that dude plays. He does not care, man. He's just firing it. And it's awesome because I think it's a huge reason why they're able to come back all the time. He's so fearless and he's so accurate downfield too. You're like, maybe that wasn't a good decision, but he's delivering. And when it's like they need him most, he delivers in those spots. But this is the one right here for us. I mean, we got to get back on track this week, and it's NFC, so it feels like it's going to play a lot into seeding potentially down the road. I've seen the playoff odds percentages where it's like if you win 70-some percent, 50% if they lose. It feels kind of weird because of how early it is in the season, but it's also heading into a bye week where not a lot of changes we can make, especially on that defensive back. We added Kendall Fuller. I just don't think it's going to look a ton different this week. Ultimately, I think we just have to score a lot more in this game, and we should, being back at home, typically that's where we score a lot of points. Tampa Bay seems like kind of the same team that they've been. There's not a lot of changes for Tampa Bay. They're kind of the same team, especially defensively, that they've been for the last few years. It all starts with Vita Vea. You got to handle that dude first, which I'm not looking forward to that because usually that's the Frank battle, and it's like, all right, that's good. We got Frank Ragnar. Well, now it's Graham Glasgow. No disrespect to Graham, but he's going to have his hands full, and I just don't know if we're going to get the same production there. So you got to deal with that guy. And then in the secondary, they've gotten some investments there that they've kind of leaned on, but they got young Jacob Parrish, a little bit younger kind of back there. Kendall Vilder. I got Kendall Vilder. Got a pick this past week. That was crazy. I didn't know he could catch a football. I didn't know that was a thing of Kendall Vilder, and he picked it off. He's with us, man. Ball's bouncing off his head and everything. I'm happy for him. Happy that he's doing his thing. And then on the offensive side for Tampa Bay, like we said, it's just everybody they place in that offense works. They're banged up on the right side. They're leaning heavy on the left side. Tristan Wirfs is an absolute dog. So I expect this to be didn't mean to do that. I expect this to be a high-scoring game. I think the Lions are going to have to come out and strike quickly in this one because Baker, the game will never be over. You can be up 2 scores and it'll never feel over against these guys. So I think it'll be back and forth. Not last team has it wins because we're going to handle business. Like I'm not even worried about that. I think we're going to do better this week, especially with some of their injuries at receiver. I think it's going to help us kind of settle the waters a little bit here. But ultimately, I'm going to go 38-30. Give me the Lions on Monday Night Football. Nick, I know you agree, so I want to start with you first because I know you're a big Lions guy this week. So go ahead.
The biggest Lions guy of the week. No, I think the Lions are going to win this one. They're not going to, after that loss, you know that everyone's going to be like, yeah, no, we're going to chew someone's knees off. What did Campbell say? Like in his first interview, he was like going to chop someone's knees off, bite his kneecaps. Yeah, that's going to happen this game. So I got a Lions winning this one. They're going to come out swinging and they're going to make it known that they're not supposed to be in the position they wanted to beat the Chiefs. So yeah, I got a big Lions win in this one.
Has Ben Johnson not given you guys any quotes like that? Like, is there a quote like that where you're like, oh, that's
he has gotten fiery with Chicago media.
Yes.
He'll be like, please stop talking about the last game. I would like to move on to the next game, which I kind of love about him. Also, he has gotten fiery with on-field media. So I wouldn't say he's said any crazy comments like that, but that dude is locked. Like when we had a false start and he looked like he was about to like rip someone's head off and they had the camera panned on him perfectly. So he's definitely bringing that intensity, but he hasn't made any outrageous quotes. I'm waiting for it though. I'm waiting for that one that he's just like makes Campbell look like he's a Girl Scout kind of deal. Like I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for
way over the top. All right. I'm with it, man. I'm looking forward to it too. One bar. What do you think, man? Lions get back on track this week?
You know, I just wish both these teams were at like full strength. Like this would be such a damn good game. Like injuries on both sides of the ball kind of hampers this, but it's going to be a good game. I'm expecting a lot of points. Lions coming out to get a chance to redeem themselves on prime time, and I think they do it. I'm going to be 4-0. I'm picking every NFC North team to win this week, but I see a lot of points. I got the Lions winning 34-31. Baker's going to make it very interesting. I love watching that dude. I don't know. I got some weird thing with Baker Mayfield. He's just fun as hell to watch, and he's going to make it very interesting at the end. You guys are going to be crapping your pants, but you get the dub.
Hey, Nick, this is not the photo, right? This is not.
I'm not seeing any photo.
Oh, you can't see it? All right. Well, never mind. Bass, go ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, so prime time. I'm excited for this one. Just like the Packers play at home every week, the Lions seemingly play prime time every week. So this is a game I will be watching, though, for sure. Again, just like you guys said, I think it's hard to root against Baker Mayfield. It's just crazy that, the Browns let him go. He was with the Panthers, which sometimes I forget about, the Rams as a backup. So it's like for him to revitalize his career like this and then be kind of in the front runner right now, in my opinion, for like MVP based on this last week. He's super fun to watch. I don't know if you guys saw that 3rd and 15 run he had last week. Absolutely insane. And he right now he's sitting at like 6.17% big time throw percentage, which is just absurd. Just for comparison, golf's 2.59.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary.
So, it's necessary just for a little comparison there. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. Detroit's banged up at cornerback, right? Dose. Like they got a lot of injuries over there. So obviously they have some injuries at wide receiver, but Tez Johnson stepped up like we saw last week. Ridiculous catch. And Tampa Bay, another thing is they're good against the run. They're the 5th in yards per game allowed. And that's obviously what the Lions want to do. They want to establish the run early and often. I think it's still going to be a shootout though, but I do have Tampa. It is in Detroit, but I think it's still going to be a close one and a shootout. I have Tampa 38-35.
Oh, man, it stinks to end on that note, Bass. I should have went to you first, man.
I
knew Nick was going to have us some love, and then I'm going to end on this. Shout out to Chicago Bears showing some love in the chat, man. We appreciate you. Hey, man, that's it for the NFC North Roundtable this week. We'll be back next week. Everybody's got a game this week, so a lot more to discuss this upcoming week. Real quick, before we get out of here, final thoughts. We'll go across the table real quick. Bass, I'll throw it to you first.
Hey, man, everyone laughed at the tie, but right now the tie has a 2nd in the entire NFC and 1st in the NFC North. So, tie's a tie, but puts us in the 1st right now. So I'll take it.
I'm still laughing at the tie.
It's cool, man. You laugh at the tie when it'll be the half game clinch for the NFC North. You'll see. It'll be the half game clinch for the NFC North in a bye week or something like that. If they somehow get the 1st seed with the tie, it would be pretty crazy.
One bar, man. Any last notes for the people?
No, you know what? As a Vikings fan, I'm looking forward to a noon game and some normalcy. And you know what? Whether you love or hate the Vikings, everybody loves watching the Eagles get spanked. So give a couple skulls during the noon game and root against the Eagles. We need big dub this week. Let's go.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Let's go Vikings this week. Nick, anything for the people?
Bear down. I'm excited for this week. Let's go 4-2. Let's make the North even more interesting. But it's going to be a good weekend all around for the North, so I'm pumped about it.